العلم أشراف مطلوب وطالبه لله أكرام من يمشي على قدمه. العلم نور مبين يستضيء به أهل السعادات والجهال في الظلم.
ومن شروط البيع, and from the شروط of البيع ألا يكون فيه ربا. From the conditions of bayt that there's no riba. Now, I'm not going to slow down because you've already memorized this. The last 2 weeks, last week on the board and this week, you've already understood these principles. So the Shaykh says, rahimahullah, عن عبادة بن سامت رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الذهب بالذهب, gold for gold, والفضة بالفضة, silver for silver, البر بالبر, wheat for wheat, والشعير بالشعير, grain for grain, والتمر بالتمر, dates for dates, الملح والملح بالملح. طيب, مثلا بمثل, سواء بالسواء, they have to be of the like, similar, the same amount. يدا بيد, hand by hand, meaning immediately exchange the two items. طيب, what you've written on the wall, on the board, what you've understood, what part of the hadith, which qa'idah does it represent? Where the Shaykh says ذهب مثلا بمثل, سواء يدا بيد, equal, hand by hand. Which one does it? The very first one. It resembles. That is. So these are from the qawa'id that are derived from this hadith, or the tawabid. طيب. فإذا اختلفت هذه الأصناف, لكن if these أصناف are different, the jins, they're different, فبيعوا كيف شئتم, then buy and sell however you wish. إذا كان يدا بيد, إذا كان يدا بيد. Which principle which number does this coincide with? I'll repeat. فإذا اختلفت هذه الأصناف, if these أصناف, if these أجناس, the jins, if it's different, فبيعوا كيف شئتم, then sell however you wish. إذا كان يدا بيد, if it is يد بيد. طيب, sisters, the second one. It coincides with the second principle. فمن زاد, طيب, and then we start the usul then, 6. طيب, so we start usul, I'm at 6 then. طيب. So far we've got the first two principles. Where's the third principle? We need to find the home for the third principle in this hadith. What is the mafhum? What do we understand from it? نعم, mafhum مخالف. What we understand from it is that since the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned the first two, where he mentioned the type and the having to be equal, then there's only a third possibility, which is if these things are different in their kind and in the reason, the illah, then buy and sell however you wish. فَمَنْ زَادَ, whoever increases, or istazada, or asks for an increase, فَقَدْ أَرْبَى, then verily he has fallen into a riba. طيب, so the Shaykh says, rahimahullah, فَلَا يُبَاعُ, it is not permissible to sell مَكِيلٌ بِمَكِيلٍ, something that is measured, or the commodity that is measured, it is not permissible to sell it with something else that is also measured min jinsihi, from its kind. إِلَّا بِهَذَيْنِ الشَّرْطَيْنِ, except with these two. I'm going to repeat it and I want you to find which principle it coincides with. فَلَا يُبَاعُ, Shaykh Abdurrahman Sa'di rahimahullah says, it is not to be sold. Makil, or you cannot sell. Makilun, something that is measured in weight, in makil, in volume. Bimakilin, with something else that is also measured in volume. Min jinsihi, when it's the same kind. Illa bihadain shardain, except with these two, and it's given it away already, with these two conditions. The first one, whenever you hear two conditions, immediately go to the first one. If you hear two conditions, it's two things that are exactly the same in their kind, in the jins, and in the illah, in the reason. طيب. ولا موزون, and something that is weighed is also, or commodity that is weighed in, measured in weight, بجنسه, with the like of it, with something else that is also measured in weight, إلا كذلك, except you also have to have these two conditions, which are تساوي and تقابض. طيب. تساوي and تقابض. So then the Shaykh says, وَإِن بِيعَ, and if something وَإِن بِيعَ مَكِيلٌ بِمَكِيلٍ, if something that is measured is sold with something that is measured, مِنْ غَيْرِ جِنْسِهِ, لكن it is from a different type, same عِلَّة, same reason, لكن it is a different type, مِنْ غَيْرِ جِنْسِهِ, أو موزون, or something that is weighed, بموزون, with something else that is weighed, من غير جنسه, لكن it is not from its type, جاز, it is permissible. So something that is measured, or something that is weighed, لكن from a different kind, a jins which is مختلف. جاز, it is permissible, بشرط, with the condition of التقابض, as long as hand by hand, it is permissible. قبل التفرق, before they disperse. Which qa'idah does this coincide with? Sisters? The second qa'idah. The second qa'idah. Who can give me an example? ذهب and fidda. If you want to exchange ذهب for fidda, you're allowed to do it. And it's permissible for one to be more than the other or less than the other. طيب? But it has to be what? It has to be there and then. وإن بيع مكيل بموزون, if something that is weighed in volume is exchanged with something that is weighed in or measured in weight, something that is measured in volume, if it is sold for something that is measured in weight, or عكسه, or the opposite of it, meaning weighed, it's been sold with something that is measured in volume, جاز ولو كان القبض بعد التفرق. An example. Dates and gold. The Shaykh says ولو كان القبض, even if the passing over is بعد التفرق, after they disperse. Where does that apply here? Which qa'idah? The last and third one. مثلا bur, wheat, for gold. They are totally different, صح? That come through, there's yeah, brothers, push forward a little bit, please. No. Yeah, sisters, if you can please push about 2 or 3 chairs to the end. طيب. Then the Shaykh is going to tell us a qa'idah. Hold on. The Shaykh is going to tell us a qa'idah. And I'm going to round or a dabit to be more precise. Abdullah, where it says, وَالْجَهْلُ, can you see? طيب. Have you guys taken a picture of it, no? Take a picture of it just in case. If it is tasawi, if it's equal of the same amount, depends on what it is. What is equal? Yani, what is it? Gold and silver? Gold and gold, which is equal. La, that's not permissible. Why? Because that's the first tabit, qa'idah. It has to be tasawi, equal, and it has to be there and then. What's the difference? Riba is haram. So if it's riba, then it's haram. Naam, because with the riba, it has to be there and then. So riba is not only if there's an increase, like even if it means delaying of passing over. And we'll see that when we're studying the types of riba, inshallah. Done, sah? The last tabit that we're going to study today, the Shaykh says what? So don't get confused. Don't think we're not studying the matan just because we're writing on the board. Whatever we're writing on the board is in the matan. Like reworded in a different way. طيب. طابد لحظة طابد قال الجهل بالتماثل والجهل بالتماثل الجهل بالتماثل كالعلم بالتفاضل. طيب. I'm going to explain it, translate it, and I want someone to figure out what it could mean. Al-jahlu, being ignorant of, at-tamathul, being ignorant of the fact that whether it's equal or not, these two things that I want to sell. For example, gold, someone's selling me gold, and I have gold. I have gold. Don't shout out, put your hand up if you know. Al-jahl bit-tamathul. I have gold and this person has gold. We're exchanging gold, we're buying and selling gold. But I don't know. Al-jahlu bi-tamathul means I'm ignorant whether it's equal or not. I don't know. You know, it could be equal. I have 10 grams. He may have 10 grams. He may well have 10 grams. But he may have less or he may have more. So if there's jahl bi-tamathul, كالعلم بالتفاضل, then it is as if you know that there's a variance in this. Who can explain this? 1 second. Put your hand up and I'll see. 3 from the sisters. Put your hand up if you can explain. Because you know? I think it's going to be 2-0 to the brothers. Gone?
Because being ignorant of it, you didn't bother to check it, so it's like you know that there's a difference, that you should have checked it before.
Okay, similar, around in that same area. Come on.
Because if you suspect there's a difference, you should act accordingly as if there is a difference.
طيب, around that same area. Just need another extra left turn. Go on.
So, al-jahl bil-tamathul, being ignorant of the difference, of the equal, is كالعلم بالتفاضل في الحكم.
كالعلم بالتفاضل في الحكم. أحسنت. So if I'm ignorant, like, I have 10 grams of gold. Well, he may have 10 grams. It may be more, maybe less, or it may even be 10. That ignorance is exactly the same as كالعلم بالتفاضل. It's as if I know there's a variance, there's a difference. It is as if I know there's a difference. I'll repeat it. What are you meant to do when buying and selling? You're meant to be sure of something, صح? I have يدا بيد, هاء بهاء, or سواء بسواء, مثل بمثل. I am sure that this is 10 grams and I'm sure that you have 10 grams. Is it permissible for me to exchange? 10 grams, 10 grams. 10 grams, it's equal. As long as I give it to him and he gives it to me, then it is permissible. But the fact that I don't know, because I'm ignorant of it being equal, then it takes the ruling that it is different. So it is haram. In summary, if I don't know if it's equal, then it's haram. But it's good to understand it like that, because that's what you'll find in the wordings of the fuqaha, the books of fiqh. Al-jahlu bitamathul kal-ilmi bitafadul. So if you don't know if the amount is equal, the gold that you have and the gold that he has, or the silver that you have or the silver that they have is equal, or the dates that you have and the dates that you have, if they're not equal, if you're not sure whether they're equal, then it is as if you're sure that they are. There's a variance and there's a difference between the two, between what you have and what they have. Meaning, what is the hukum? Halal or haram? Haram. It is not permissible. The what?
The pocket situation where the person is saying, oh, you can have whatever, that's not, is similar to it? Because you don't know.
Not necessarily similar to it, because when I'm talking... Whether it's ignorant or not, like when I'm selling something, when I've got cash and I want to buy a mobile phone, do they have to be equal, the cash and the mobile phone? So it doesn't apply to the first part of the principle. The reason why that is haram is not because of riba. The reason why saying whatever I've got in my pocket, I'm going to sell it to you. The reason why that is haram it's not because it is riba. It is haram. Why? That applies to a different condition, which is what? نعم ألا يكون فيه غرر ولا جهالة. طيب. So that condition of riba, it is as long as I said to you, the fuqaha, there's a whole bab. They say bab al-riba was-sarf. There's a whole bab, a whole chapter for it in the books of fiqh. So what we've studied last week and this week is just a summarization of it. But it's a summarization of the main principles. And also bear in mind what we're talking about is riba fil buyu'. Riba in buying and selling. As for riba in al-qard, we're going to get to that. Is that understood? Or shall I write on the board just to clarify? طيب. Loans. طيب. Can I rub this out? You take the pictures. You know the top is on the mutton, it's actually on the book. طيب.
So Hassan, you know what we just discussed now?
Yeah?
How about getting into the quality of the gold?
لا. Quality doesn't matter. Quality is not looked at.
So like
لا. If it's fake, it's not actually.
counterfeit notes, right?
لا. If it's fake, then it's not gold. If you say fake gold, if you're selling fake gold, does it have the hukum of gold? لا, if it's mukhtalad, if there is real, then it's not permissible. If it is real, then it is not permissible.
So you know with gold, different types, like white gold, yellow gold, you know the purity changes the value. Like white gold won't be the same as Indian gold. Will that come into account? Value-wise. If you have the same weight of gold,
If you have the same what?
if you have the same weight of white gold and Indian gold, the Indian gold will be worth more.
Why?
Because the purity of the white gold, the way white gold is made, is mixed with different types of gold.
Are they not both, like, for example, 24 carat or 18 carat? Or,
There's different value. If it's based on the purity, the type of gold, like rose gold is less valuable than Indian gold. Indian gold is like pure gold. So if you see it by weight, the Indian gold will be worth more money, probably.
Well, we'll look into it. Like in general, gold, for gold, two conditions. Tasawi, they have to be equal, and they have to be taqabud في البيوع. طيب, riba in general is of two types. تفضل.
What's the difference between a dayn and a qard?
The what? The what?
Is there a difference between a dayn and qard?
لا, dayn and qard, same thing. Loan.
But did you say that in the ta'arif of al-bay, that dayn doesn't
It-
enter into bay?
Huh?
Did we say that dayn doesn't enter into bay? No.
The dayn is not buying and selling. If I lend you £100, what have I sold to you? Nothing. So that's not selling. طيب, riba fil buyu'. Riba in buying and selling. This is what we've studied so far. We've studied this one. For example, gold for gold, silver, dates for dates, milh, hadith ubada. This is what applies. All of the principles we studied and the tawabid we studied last week, it applies to here. This is yet to come. This could be in anything. For example, money. I can say to someone, I lend you £1,000, but you have to give me 1,500 back. That is riba, clear riba. That's ijma'. There's no. But that is not buying and selling. Okay, let me read it. Which one is it? Which one shall I read for you? You're giving the screen a dirty look, the board a dirty look. Go on. Which one can't you read? الربا في البيوع لا عليك. طيب, نعم, for riba في الدين, for buying and selling, مثلا, that could be in anything. A car for a car. So I can't say to you, listen, I'm going to give you a car now, but you're going to have to give me what? 2 cars back. Because that's a qagd. It is a dain. Why is that impermissible? Because there's oppression. What have I done to deserve the first, the second? Huh? Also, saying to someone, for example, listen, I'm going to lend you £1,000 and you have to give it back to me within 6 months. But if you don't give it to me within 6 months, then you're going to have to, I'm going to add like £20 or I'm going to add £200 for every month that you're delayed. So 1,000, anytime between now and the next 6 months, you can give him £1,000. So in that look, from that outlook, there's no riba and interest. Lakin, if you don't give it to me within 6 months, for every month that you delay it, I'm going to add an extra £100. That is also a surah or a type of riba. Lakin we'll see that soon, inshallah. طيب, questions after. Should we go into usul al-fiqh? طيب, where did we stop usul al-fiqh?